Okay, this video is going to get kind of fringy. I'm going to be talking about time travel. I'm going to be talking about these chariots and horses again, because I believe God uses this stuff to explain a bunch of things, even into current times. Okay, I'm going to be talking about a lot of fringy stuff, and all this stuff is connected to the ancient past anyway. So this is a time travel chariot, whirlwind chariot video. All right. So this video is a spin-off of my centaur video, even though it's not really about centaurs. It's about whirlwind chariots, and I'm going to talk about some fringy stuff, some time travel stuff maybe. Okay, and so I'm really going to be talking about all these whirlwind chariots again. Okay, and I'm going to talk about how these animals take you to the other side, and these whirlwind chariots take you to the other side. And I'm going to be using movie references to show you what I mean, because these things are in movies, and it helps me explain to you what God is talking about. Alright, so whirlwind chariots. This is a whirlwind chariot. This is a very old school whirlwind chariots. Horses pulling fiery chariots. This Ophanum thing would be an updated version to a whirlwind chariot. It literally, the definition of this Ophanum thing is a burning fiery whirlwind chariot. And I know this must be confusing, but you have to realize the Bible is written for everyone in their own time frame. Okay, and since people were riding horses and chariots literally for thousands of years, it's been like 100 years before people even had cars and airplanes and stuff like that. Okay, so of course people were just using the chariots, horses pulling chariots for a long time, because that's what people would understand. They wouldn't understand like cars and planes and stuff. But in the Hebrew, let's bring up this Ophanum thing again. This Ophanum thing means a whirlwind chariot. It's almost the same thing as the horses pulling a chariot, right? Of course, that's not a coincidence. Okay, so in Hebrew, the word chariot, it just means something to ride in, something very powerful to ride in or ride on. So, if you were to update these whirlwind chariots, this is why God didn't have anyone draw pictures, because God uses this information for different time frames, okay? So, and some people use this, the very fringy version of Elijah was picked up by a whirlwind chariot. Some people think Elijah was literally picked up by a UFO or a spacecraft. Okay, I actually don't think that's what happened, but you're realizing that the Bible is talking about different time frames, okay? And these descriptions are supposed to help everyone. It's not necessarily trying to convince you what exactly happened to this person, but what is happening to everyone. Okay, so a fiery whirlwind chariot, because chariot just means something to ride in or on, could be talking about a boat. A boat could be a whirlwind chariot. An airplane could be a whirlwind chariot. A spaceship could be a whirlwind chariot. A UFO could be a whirlwind chariot. Even a tornado. A tornado is a whirlwind chariot. Do these things pick up people and take them somewhere else? They do. A car could be a whirlwind chariot. And it's so funny because half of these things are named after horses anyway. That's why cars are called horsepower, right? And there's Mustangs. They're literally named after horses. God uses that. Because these whirlwind chariots aren't just talking about horses pulling chariots. It's talking about these vehicles, okay? And probably my most favorite one at all that I use all the time is this whirlwind chariot is talking about portals. Okay? Can portals pick you up and take you somewhere else? Yes. Okay? And God uses this Ophanum thing to explain all of that. He uses this Ophanum thing to explain a bunch of stuff. Okay? It's like a riddle. It's a never-ending riddle. Alright? And so, it's so funny because these chariots and all this stuff are in the book of Revelation, and they're recognizing that this stuff might be talking about stuff from their perspective, the future, but it's talking about right now, right? And some people see these whirlwind chariots as being helicopters. That's because God is using all of it, okay? God is using all of it. And this Ophanum thing is really talking about an updated version of these whirlwind chariots, because people don't ride around on horses anymore. So God's got to do an updated version, because obviously kids now probably don't even know what a chariot is, okay? They know what cars are, so God's got to update. He's got to upgrade, add this new information. Of course you're allowed to do that, okay? Anyway, so but here's some good examples of what I'm talking about. I can only use some old movie references, but I'll use Wizard of Oz. So what happens in the Wizard of Oz? Dorothy gets taken to the other side, or the supernatural place, okay? And what brought her there? a whirlwind chariot. Her whirlwind chariot was a tornado. Another good example. If you've ever seen this, here's another updated version or a different version. If you've ever seen Lost, okay, have you ever seen Lost? I know these shows are old. It doesn't matter because I'm going to tell you what it's about anyway. Lost is a story about how these people were on a plane, okay, and this plane took them to this magical island, okay. Of course, it was horrible, but what brought them there to that island? A fiery whirlwind chariot brought them to that supernatural crazy island, okay. You get what I'm saying? What about Harry Potter? If you ever seen Harry Potter is in the regular world, but then he goes into this magical world, and he uses a train to do it. His whirlwind chariot is a train that teleports him or transports him to the other side. And I'll use this Contact movie as, again, I can only use these old movies because I don't really watch movies anymore. Okay, so in Contact, they build a whirlwind chariot for her. Okay, of course the aliens told her to do it. And this whirlwind chariot takes her to this magical place up in the sky, or into another dimension. Okay, and she comes back, and it's very interesting because these concepts are used with these whirlwind chariots in the Bible, and in Islam they really use it too. So people think that's what happened with Elijah, right? There's so many different theories, and I think God just uses all of them to try to save people, okay? Because I'm not going to sit here and tell you which one it is, but most people just view him as dying. But even in the ancient world, they had a concept of these horses traveling through time. I'm not kidding. These horsemen chariots, they could supernaturally travel from one place to another. They went really like teleporting. They were teleporting, okay? And people have that theory for Elijah. Because technically it didn't say that he died, and so this chariots pick him up, an open portal picked him up, and people think he's going to come back in the book of Revelation. And that's very interesting because that's even in Islam with Muhammad. Okay, this horse chariot thing, it supernaturally takes him around the world. Okay, it teleports him. And not only that, his Barak, his horse chariot man, actually he time travels. Okay, he goes back in time, and according to these stories in Islam, Muhammad takes this whirlwind chariot to hell, and at the end, when he dies, he takes it to heaven. But that's not what happens. That happens at the end of his story. But this chariot, Barak, takes him through time. I'm not kidding. In their own story, this Barak takes him to the beginning of the Bible. It takes them to the time of Abraham, and they pick up Abraham. Even in the Egyptian religion, they take a whirlwind chariot into the underworld and to the other side, but they come back, okay? And of course, their whirlwind chariot was a boat, okay? This is a boat they take, it's not being pulled by horses. But it's a supernatural boat that travels to the other side, okay? And God uses this Ophanim thing and these chariots to explain that, but half the time they're not literally being pulled by horses, okay? This is talking about some really fringy paranormal teleporting stuff, okay? It's not just talking about regular horses and stuff like that. And that is some very fringy stuff, okay? But my point is, even in the ancient world, these whirlwind chariots were traveling through time. They weren't just taking people to heaven or hell, okay? And my point is, biblically, so when God is saying that Elijah was taken by a whirlwind chariot, or people do that with Enoch too, okay? Enoch was taken into the clouds, okay? And that is still talking about going through a portal, okay? It's going through the other dimension. And people say that Enoch and Elijah aren't dead, that they're being teleported to the end of the world. And that is some very fringy stuff, but I think God uses that to explain stuff to you. Okay, and now let's use current stuff with these whirlwind chariots. In Back to the Future, the whirlwind chariot they take through time isn't a horse, it's a car, right? Okay, because these concepts go back to the beginning of time. A very good example is the Philadelphia experiment. Okay, the Philadelphia experiment is an experiment they did. They supernaturally teleported this big boat from one part of the earth to the other. Okay, and it was very bad and evil. You're not supposed to be doing this stuff. Okay, you're not supposed to be you're not supposed to be breaking through the other side without God's permission, okay? If you don't, you're just doing something demonic, okay? You're not supposed to be building these things to break into the other side. And it's all about defeating God. It's all about proving that humans are better than God and humans can do what they want. Okay, that's still the devil. Humans are the devil, okay? And another good example, and even in the Flying Dutchman, that's exactly what happens in the Flying Dutchman. Okay, in this video I talked about the Flying Dutchman. What does he do? He makes a deal with the devil to make his boat teleport supernaturally to another kingdom really fast, okay? It's exactly what happens with Santa Claus. Santa Claus is just a pagan deity. It doesn't matter if he's made up because you're still basing off of all this pagan stuff. He supernaturally travels around the world on his whirlwind chariot. That is not even original. It goes back since the beginning of time. Okay? And my point is, that's probably what happened with Noah's Ark. Okay? I believe that Noah's Ark was a very supernatural whirlwind chariot. Okay? And God was bending time and space to save these people on the boat. I don't think it was just a regular boat. Okay, I don't care if you actually think it is a regular boat. I'm not going to argue with that. But I think when God says he's made a supernatural boat and he took them to the other side across the sea through the whirlwind chariot, through the primordial sea, it's talking about a supernatural event. I don't think it was just a regular boat on the water. I think it was a very supernatural event. Okay. Okay, now we're going to talk about some really fringy stuff right here, and I'm going to talk to you about this missing Malaysia flight, okay, and this current whirlwind chariot possibly teleporting, time-traveling whirlwind chariot, okay? So, I'm sure some of you have seen this really weird footage, possibly from the missing Malaysia flight. It's exactly what happens with the Bermuda Triangle, okay? The Bermuda Triangle is a bunch of whirlwind chariots being taken into the other side, okay? And this is possibly footage of that. This is the missing Malaysia flight footage, okay? It's very debatable online. I will talk about that in a minute. But supposedly they caught this footage of this whirlwind chariot disappearing into time or into the other side. This is orbs floating around this plane. This is whirlwind chariot stuff. I know I keep saying that because I'm really trying to get you to understand that all this stuff is in the Bible, is my point. And then it supernaturally just bursts into nothing. It's like it does like this weird cloud puff. Okay, and so people are saying this is footage of this plane being taken into the other side. Okay, now what's going on here? Okay, is this just footage of people dying? Because this is what happens when people die, okay? People see these weird orbs when people pass. People film people when they die, which is very bad, I know, but you can see orbs floating around people when they die. So is this a technological supernatural event, or is this just demonstrating how God is supernaturally taking these people into heaven or hell? It's really about perspective, okay? This could just be a God doing this. People are so funny. They say aliens are doing it. The government's doing it. Hello, God could be doing this. This could just be God preparing the way for these people's final descent, okay? These people just got taken to their afterlife, just like Elijah. Okay, but here's the other version. Is it possible that these guys are teleporting to a parallel universe, or they're being taken through time? I believe time travel could be biblical. Okay, but the only parallel universe you are going to is heaven or hell. You're not going to wake up into another life where you're basically just living on Earth kind of again, and you're restarting your life, because I don't believe that, and that's basically believing in reincarnation. Okay, you're not going to die or live in a parallel universe like the way you're thinking. Okay, the only parallel universe you're going to go to is heaven or hell. Okay, there's nothing else after you die. But time travel might be biblical. Okay, in the book of Revelation, does God take John, and did God teleport John into the end of the world and just show him it? That's possible, okay? God might be doing time travel in the Bible. So I'm open to time traveling. Okay, but I'm not open to a parallel universe where you die and you wake up and you're basically just restarting your life again, because that's reincarnation. Okay, that's not the parallel universe that God teaches. Okay, you're not gonna die and wake up in another you have a new family and all that stuff. That's basically reincarnation. You're not going to have another opportunity to repent, okay, because that's purgatory too. Believing in that version of parallel universe is basically believing in reincarnation, okay? And if you believe that, you have no reason to repent and come to God, because you basically just think that your whole existence is just you drinking and partying and having a job, and it's pointless. No, I don't like that version of parallel universe. Time traveling, maybe. And heaven and hell are these parallel universes, though, okay? There's nothing else other than that. Okay? And also, if this is just footage of the government testing some weird science stuff, that is very demonic and evil, okay? If this is just footage of the government messing with people, and like CERN, okay, that is evil and you will be punished, okay? And this is a Bible passage that teaches you about that. Some trust in chariots and other in horses, but we trust in the name of our Lord God. So this is talking about not relying on these chariots and this horsepower, things that have supernatural power, okay, some of these very powerful weapons made by humans, like CERN, or like the Philadelphia experiment. Okay, you're not supposed to rely on that stuff to bring you to the other side, or to transport you to a parallel universe. You're supposed to rely on God, okay? You're not supposed to build some weird demonic stuff to break into the other side. That's exactly what happened with Nimrod and the Tower of Babel, okay? You're not supposed to build some weird thing to take you to the other side. You have to rely on God, okay? Because God is going to give you what you want. The only other side you're going to go to is probably hell, okay? Alright? So please think about that stuff, guys. And this weird, I want to bring up something else. This weird Bermuda Triangle situation has been happening since the beginning of time. Okay? The Anasazi Indians supernaturally disappeared. They disappeared. They have no idea where they went. The Persians, the 50,000 Persian men and their horses mysteriously disappeared in the BCs. Okay? People weirdly disappearing has been happening since the beginning of time. Okay? There are stories about it always since the beginning of time. So let's just say that these guys got teleported into another time frame. That is possible. That is all I have some very weird end times theories, and just like and it's so funny because Christians do that with Elijah and Enoch, because it doesn't necessarily say that they died. They said they got taken away. Okay, just like all these Aztec Indians and the Persians got taken away, and the Bermuda Triangle. So if these guys aren't living in a parallel universe, that it's possible that they're just dead. Okay, which means they're in heaven or hell. Okay. But a very bad thing is when you build really crazy devices like CERN, listen to me, when you build really bad devices like CERN and the Philadelphia experiment, it doesn't just mess with the times. During that time, it messes with time all over in every direction, okay? This is a very freaky demonstration of what I mean, okay? The Persians disappeared a long time ago. That Malaysia flight may have disappeared, okay, into the other side. The Anasazi Indians disappeared, okay? All those people in the Bermuda Triangle, okay? Where did they go? Okay, who did that? What happened? And it's so funny because in the Persians, that even their horses disappeared. Just like this airplane disappeared, right? So let's just do a demonstration of how evil this is. What's making these things disappear from a long time ago? It's possible that CERN is doing it. Okay, the reason why the Aztec Indians disappeared, the reason why the Persians disappeared is because somebody turned on CERN in the 21st century. Because that's how evil and how demonic, and that's how messing with time works. It doesn't just work in one direction. It messes with the dimensions of time in every direction. The reason why all these people disappeared is because someone turned on CERN thousands of years later, and that's how dangerous it is to mess with these things. Do not build these weird things. Do not trust in these weird things to save you. Okay, you are literally messing with the dimensions of time since the beginning of time. All right, do you get how evil this stuff is? All right. We're gonna get really, really, really fringy. Okay, this is probably the craziest end time story that I have, and I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that it's 100% real. But even if I'm 10% right, which I could be, I probably am, it's still pretty scary. Okay, this is just a demonstration of how dangerous it is. And the thing is, it's already too late. They've already been doing this stuff. There's nothing you could do except the same thing you can always do is you can accept Christ and hold on for dear life. All right, and hope you're on the right side of things. Anyway, so I have lots of really crazy theories. This is definitely like way up there fringy. Alright. So, like I've said, since the beginning of time, people have been missing, have been vanishing, okay? But sometimes it's not just the people, it's the animals too, right? Something is grabbing not just the people, the animals. Like with the Persians, the horses went missing too. Okay, just like with these planes and boats, the planes and boats went missing sometimes go missing as well, okay? So whatever is grabbing these things is taking the animals too, okay? And so something like this could have happened with the dinosaurs, okay? What happened to the dinosaurs? Everyone just assumes that they died, okay? But not necessarily. They could have just vanished, just like these people. Same thing with the Nephilim. These are... You know what the Nephilim are? These are these hybrid creatures, these beings that lived during the days of Noah. They were like, you know, very fringy hybrids. They were mutants, okay? But they were supposed to be flesh and blood animals, all right? And then there's cryptids that we see to this day. You know, there's Bigfoot, there's Dogman, there's Mothman, okay? So let's just say, for argument's sake, that these cryptids really are just animals, like Bigfoot. Let's just say, for this video anyway, that Bigfoot isn't a demon from hell. Let's just say that these encounters with these cryptids are actual animals. Where are they coming from? If they're not coming from hell, and also some people claim to have seen dinosaurs, and I know that sounds really crazy, but some of this video footage looks real to me. It doesn't look like CGI, okay? And by the way, it doesn't look like CGI, so let's just say, for argument's sake, that these are actual dinosaurs here right now, okay? Where are they coming from? Like, if these aren't just demons from hell, if these are just animals coming from the other side, where are they coming from? Okay, what's brought them here? And I'm going to go into that right now. And my point is going to be, it's possible that they're not coming from hell, or they haven't just been here the whole time, that they're coming through another time frame, okay? They're being dropped here by another time frame. And then the next question is going to be, what is bringing them here? And why? Okay, it could be very well be because people have been making time-melting machines, and it's bringing not only is it disappearing people, and it has been disappearing weird animals, and it's teleporting. I know this is very strange. This is a very crazy theory, but I'm going to go ahead and go for it. And it's bringing them into different time frames, okay? And what's been doing it? Probably stuff like CERN, okay? So what I'm going to say is, what happened to the dinosaurs, and what happened to these Nephilim monsters, and what happened to the Anasazi Indians, and what happened to the Persians is someone turned on CERN and multiple other devices, but CERN's probably the main one, and that is why they disappeared, because that is what happens when you melt time. Okay, it doesn't just melt it from whenever that thing was invented. It goes in every direction. Okay, and my theory that I'm not claiming to be 100% true, but could be. My next theory is it's just gonna keep getting weirder. My question is, where are they going? If they're being dumped into a time frame, they're probably all gonna be dumped at the end of the world. Okay, they're probably all gonna be dumped at the same time. I'm talking about the dinosaurs. I'm talking about the people. I'm saying the Anasazi Indians and the Persians and the Nephilim monsters and the dinosaurs. And I'm talking about all those missing people in the Bermuda Triangle with their planes and their boats. They're all going to be dumped at the end of the world, because there is no more time after that. God's going to stop time, so there's nowhere else for them to go besides the end of the world until the end of time, right? And that's what the end of the world is. Okay, now I'm gonna get even fringier. I'm not done yet. Okay. Since this randomly opening portal just randomly picks up people. Not only has it been picking up random people from different time frames, it also picked up people from the Bible. I know this is a really crazy theory, but I don't care. Whatever. And that's what happened to Elijah and Enoch, and sometimes people that's what happened to Moses. Okay, something took Moses away and Elijah and maybe Enoch, and it could have just been God doing it. Probably he could have just been taking them and putting them at the end of the world, or CERN could have been doing it and God allowed it, and that's the only good thing that could happen out of all this. Luckily, there are going to be some people down there at the end of the world trying to help everyone else, okay? Because God always has a plan to try to save people even at the very last second, okay? And it's not just going to be Enoch. It's going to be Jesus and and Muhammad might be there too, because supposedly Muhammad is traveling through time, they say. Of course, that would make Muhammad the false prophet or the Antichrist. And who knows, maybe that's been happening. Maybe that doorway has slowly been opening, and that's why people now are having more supernatural experiences. They're seeing more ghosts, they're seeing more demons, they're seeing more Bigfoot, they're seeing more dogmen, they're seeing more supernatural disappearances and time glitches and the Mandela effect, because the dimensions of time have been messed up since the beginning of time because of CERN, maybe. Alright, so yeah, and at the end of the world, it's just gonna be full-blown crazy Big Bang madness, because those doorways are just gonna be full-blown open. It's the craziest theory I have. And like I said, I'm not saying any of this is going to happen, but if any of this does happen, there's nothing you could do about it except tell people to repent and hold on for dear life. Accept Christ, tell people to repent and hold on for dear life, and bring everyone else on the boat too, okay? And even if all this crazy stuff doesn't happen on Earth, that's exactly what's going to be going on in hell, okay? All those things are going to be in hell. All those weird things are going to be there. And it's going to happen when you're going to go to them, okay? And all I'm going to say is Moses and Enoch and Elijah and Jesus, God, God was just like, I'm going to have to send you guys over there because these guys are literally being eaten by Mothman and Bigfoot. And the planes from 1947 are dropping from the sky. All these missing 401 people are gonna be falling out of the sky. And T-Rexes, okay. And you guys are gonna have to go. Good luck trying to deal with those people at the end of the world, because it's gonna be a hot mess. Good luck with that, guys. I told you guys not to mess with those whirlwind chariots. I told you. Anyway, so yeah, so please think about this stuff, guys, and thank you.